All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to our In the Paint community team huddle. So happy that you joined us tonight. I see lots of good faces, smiling faces. So I'm super happy that you wanted to spend some time here tonight. We have a very special guest, my friend, Wes Coons, who I actually have known, we've known each other since our 20s. So it's been a long time, but he, as sort of life moved on and we all got older, he is a real estate broker turned Reiki guy. So it's kind of cool. He's got a cool story. I don't know how much of the story he's going to share, but he's just really, actually we connected as I was on my kind of healing journey earlier this year and wanting to do a little bit more of like deep diving energy work and like emotional releases and all kinds of stuff. And so Wes sort of started me on the journey and has been a huge part, I think, of some breakthroughs that I've had and some really great things that have happened in my healing. And he also actually connected me to several other people. So it's been like I have this like beautiful healing team now. So thank you, Wes, for doing that. So I thought it would be really cool to do something a little different tonight and just kind of let him do his thing and talk a little bit about how important kind of looking inward is and digging in to the sort of the energy that exists within us. And I'm just going to go on a tangent. I know he's going to say it way better. So I'm just going to stop talking now and turn it over to Wes because I kind of get it in my brain, but he's going to say it better than me. So go ahead, Wes.
I hope I say it fairly well. How are you?
Good. I'm going to put you in speaker view here.
Can everybody hear me?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Good. So who here is freaked out and don't know what I do besides me?
Oh, you got to get through.
I don't know what you do,
Mhm.
but I don't get freaked out by that third person omniscient kind of overlay thing because I'm one of those knowing individuals. So.
Yes, ma'am. Well, just a little background on me. I own a real estate company here in Virginia Beach. I'm a former Marine. I'm an ordained minister. The work that I do is with Jesus. So if you have a question mark on, do I work in the light or do I work in the dark? I absolutely work with Jesus Christ. And, it's been a long road for me, by the way, if you're on Don Higgins's team, what an honor that is, right? I've known Don, since our 20s. So that was like 5 years ago, right? And there's nobody that I love and respect more than Don Higgins.
Well, that's his. Thank you.
Yeah, she's my friend. So, this journey's.
He froze. Is he frozen for you guys? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Oh, yep.
We
Now
can
we
hear you
can.
now.
He
You
froze up a little bit
unfroze.
on us.
All right. So can you hear me now?
Yes.
We can make a TV commercial out of that statement.
Yes.
So this journey started, ironically enough, with an extraordinarily haunted house, which, a few years back, I had a hard time believing in God. I ended up meeting Father Munford, and he and I became very, very good friends. And, I started going down this path. I found, Jesus, and I really ended up, I'm part Cherokee, so I connected with my culture and met a Native American medicine woman who taught me about God. And, one of the things I learned is, we might use different words, but it basically goes back to the same entity, Jesus Christ. And, I know a lot of people, for me, that was hard to comprehend. I was angry for such a long time in my life. And somewhere through this journey in the last couple of years, that anger has been lifted. And I just remember waking up one day and that anger I couldn't connect with it anymore. And so I thought that was pretty interesting because it's something I always wanted to have happen. I always wanted that to shift, but I just didn't know how. And so I went and I took some Reiki courses. And if you don't know what Reiki is the Catholic Church calls hands-on healing. It's basically hands-on healing. where you ask the Holy Sacred Spirit to use your body as a channel to heal somebody or to heal yourself. And I found out, I was really, really good at it. So as you fast forward, I opened my healing practice about 4 months ago. I've got about 75 clients now, and been able to do some beautiful work. I don't do the work. Jesus does the work. He just uses me as a vessel. And so one of the things that I've been working on for myself is, especially as a salesperson, is releasing the fears and the frustration and the things that hold me back, right? So one of the things I just started reading not too long ago, I don't know if you see this, but it's called The 4 Agreements. And I kind of wanted to talk about that a little bit. It's an easy read, and me being a former Marine, we need easy, right? We didn't join the Marine Corps to read books. And so reading for me has never been fun, but I do it because I need to do it, right? So one of the things that they talk about is being impeccable with your word and speaking your truth. That one was a hard one for me to comprehend because my personality style, my normal personality style is I'm more amiable. I don't like confrontation. Sales shouldn't be my job, even though it's the career that I chose. And, one of the things that I found is I started speaking my truth. And what that was for me was, putting myself first and being able to say, hey, simple things is, hey, you want to come over for dinner Tuesday night? Instead of me being able to say, I just don't really feel up to it, I would be more apt to say, I've got appointments or something. And so when I started noticing how as I was doing that, since I wasn't speaking my truth, there was little pieces of me that was being broken off and left behind, right? So I was giving up on myself, that I didn't even have enough truth in my voice to say, hey, thanks for dinner. I appreciate it. What a wonderful invitation. However, I just can't Tuesday night. Does that make sense? So they also go on and talk about don't take things personally. Who takes things personally besides me? Who has ever brought on maybe somebody in your downline or somebody that you've talked to 100 times and they're not buying your product, they're buying somebody else's product, right? And then we sit there and we start to think about it and we take it personally. The problem when you take things personally, you allow yourself to own that energy. And when you own that energy, you allow yourself to become a victim, right? For example, I had a young lady that left my real estate team that, quite frankly, she had the best year of her career. I had a big part of that, a very, very big part of that. And I could easily sit there and say, she never would have hit those numbers if it wasn't for me. That, is because of my hard work combined with what she did is why she made $225,000 this last year. But I didn't. I decided to say, thank you. I appreciate it. I did my job and move on, because had I taken ownership of that part of her business and she made a business decision to go somewhere else, then I'm allowing myself to be a victim. And I'm allowing myself to feel that pain, that energy in my heart. Who here can feel pain in their heart right there, right? So one of the things I'm good at is I can reach in and help pull that out and remove that pain so you can heal and move forward. So, but if we don't allow it to get there in the first place, we're ahead of the game, aren't we? Number 3 they talk about is don't make assumptions. Who's good at that besides me? Who's made assumptions with your significant other or your child, or what the school teacher is going to say when you go in for the class meeting and you find out you were totally wrong, correct? So when we make those assumptions, then we start to take things personally, and then we start to allow ourselves to be a victim. And then you all of a sudden at 3 o'clock in the morning are having an argument with yourself over something that happened 5 years ago. Has anybody done that besides me? Right? This is all what the book talks about. And the last thing that I wrote down here on this one topic is always do your best. So for example, if you're doing your best in your position, you're speaking your truth, and somebody makes a business decision to use somebody else or not to use it at all, you've done everything you're supposed to do because you've spoken your truth. You've done all four, correct? So think about this. Have you ever asked your significant other for a special evening out and they just said, you know what? I'm not up to it. It didn't happen. The next week, guess what you're asking? Let's go out and do something special. Let's have a special evening. Let's do something, you and I. This is the most important person in your life that told you no. However, you turned right around and asked that person again. You didn't take it personally. You might not have liked it, but it didn't stop you from moving forward. In sales, somebody tells us no, and all of a sudden we're not moving forward anymore, are we? We go home, we absorb that into our heart. I can't do this job anymore. This isn't made for me. And the reality is that person made a business decision and we're allowing it to affect us, correct? Doesn't even seem appropriate when you think about it, does it? You know, Henry Ford says, whether you believe you're right or whether you believe you're wrong, you're correct. You know, I heard this story. I think Father Munford shared it with me. I don't remember who shared it with me, but there's this man, he was an alcoholic and he beat his wife and children all the time. And he had two sons. The one son grew up to be an alcoholic and beat his family. He said, my dad was an alcoholic and he beat us. What else could I do? The other son never had a drink in his life and had a loving, caring relationship and loved his family. He said, my dad beat us and he drank all the time. What else can I do? They came from the same background, but they had two different mindsets on what they're supposed to do. The one mindset is, I can't change and break the chains that are holding me down, so I have to be this person. And the other one drew a line in the sand and said, I'm going to break the chains of addiction. I'm going to break the chains of abuse, and I'm going to live the life that I'm supposed to be, that God wants us to have, right? Now, he says we're allowed to have abundance. I don't believe he gives us anything that we cannot handle. And I also believe there's lessons to be learned in everything that we have. You know, I like to give examples of myself because I think it's appropriate to lead the pack in the work that I do. You know, I had recently stopped seeing this young lady and I had spoken to a friend of mine. I said, it's interesting how I attract women who easily throw me in the trash. And she looked at me dead in the eye and she said, well, where do you throw yourself in the trash? And I'm like, really? Really? Thanks. You know, and the reality is it was true. I threw myself in the trash because I didn't speak my truth, that I took things personally, that I would put somebody else in front of myself every single time and I didn't count. And then that manifested back into attracting people who do the same thing for me. So what I want you to think about, you know, part of our topic today is, you know, we are all in sales, and then we all want to release some things, and then we all want to bring some things in, right? So one of the things I did for you before we started, this is a Native American prayer tie. I'm part Cherokee. This is a white piece of cloth. The white represents Christ's energy and is sacred. Inside this is a pinch of tobacco. The tobacco is sacred to the Native American culture. So basically what I did is I said some prayers for you, and I asked, you know, the Native Americans call it creator. Some people call it spirit, the Holy Spirit, and Jesus Christ, whatever your terminology is, it all goes to God. And so when I was setting the intention for this session, I asked that all the things that you ladies and gentlemen, if there's any gentlemen on here, I don't know, would like to have released to be given to this, to be inside of this prayer tie here. And I don't have to know what your challenges are. You know, God knows, Spirit knows, Creator knows, correct? So it was funny when I was tying this, and I do prayer ties a lot. I couldn't even get this one to come together. It's half falling apart. I thought that was interesting. And then I cleared the air and I said, I want to call in everything that I believe that these ladies would like to have. Whatever your wildest dream is, I would like to call in. And it was funny how easy this prayer tie was to put together, how it folded properly and it tied properly, and I had no issue with it. Recently I went up to the mountains in Abington, Virginia, and I did a 3-day ceremony with a medicine woman friend of mine. And what I did is I basically sat on top of the mountain by myself, and it was me, myself, and God. And I sat there for 3 days doing prayer ties and reflecting on my life and the things that I wanted. So, one of the things that happened the last morning I was there, and I don't think I even shared this with Dawn yet, have I? No. So the last morning I was there, I was kind of hoping that she was going to come and say I did a good job and all this stuff. And she came up and I was in astronomical back pain. I mean, my back was just really, really hurting. And of course, when you do sacred events, we're not on that level flat ground. We're like on a hill and next to a stump. And so it was quite uncomfortable. And she said, you have 24 more hours. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to do my 24 more hours. And she's seen me struggling in pain. And she said, when you speak your truth, your pain will go away. So I thought about that. And before I could say anything, it came out of my mouth that I throw myself away. That is my biggest truth. And the second those words left my mouth, the pain was lifted out of my back and I was able to stand up out of the chair. And, what that was is the energy of me not speaking my truth was manifesting in my body as lower back pain. I could have easily sat there and said that the back pain was because I'm sitting on the side of a mountain. I had 2 back surgeries a couple years ago. I'm not a spring chicken and I was just in pain. But the reality is the pain I was holding inside of my body was manifesting here. And when I spoke my truth and I said it out loud, God pulled that for me, right? There was no magic, wizard there, any silly stuff like that. It was, I believe we're spiritual beings on this planet and we're trying to find our way. And when we speak that truth, these things start to leave us. I've seen it time and time again. I see it with clients in my room. I had a young lady in my office last week who had seizures. She's had seizures every day for 2.5 years. And we did some work on her. And I watched as she came in my office today and she has not had a seizure in 6 days. I didn't do that. Jesus did that work. I just happened to be the tool. But there was things there was energies that no longer served her. There was thought processes that no longer served her. There was abuse that was there that needed to be released. And as we went through this process together, this 20-year-old young lady who was riddled with pain walks in my office today, pain-free. We can change the outcome of our day by starting to change what we put up here, all right? One of the things I want you to think about, if you've ever listened to Zig Ziglar, I had somebody ask me the other day who Zig Ziglar was. I'm like, gosh, I'm getting old. And I think she was 22. But if you don't know Zig Ziglar, he is a wonderful speaker. He's a motivational speaker. And one of the things I never forgot about this is he said, when you set goals and you start moving forward in your life, don't tell everybody. Not everybody is safe for you. And sometimes the people that aren't safe are the ones closest to you, right? Who's had that before? You know, I love my mother, but she would always tell me if my sister had an idea, it was the greatest idea ever. If I had it, all I'm going to be is a ditch digger. And I never understood that, but it is what it is. So I remember when he shared that in a CD program that I was listening to, it made sense to me, because we can't go down the road and say, hey, I want to be diamond in 2 or 3 years or in 18 months. And then have somebody who's not safe for you turn around and say, well, you can't even sell a coat to an Eskimo. What are you talking about? And turn around and walk away. Who's had that happen before, right? You know, when I got in real estate, if they would have told me that if I called Dawn Higgins tonight at 6 o'clock, she's going to list her house with you, give you the full commission, the whole 9 yards, all you got to do is sign the paperwork, I would physically be sick the entire day in the bathroom. I could not talk to people. I was a United States Marine. I was good at other things. However, I made a decision in my life to learn how to communicate, how to speak, how to try to think differently. And it's been a long road for me. And it's been the last 2 years that things have shifted in just overdrive for me. And so what I want you to think about is, why don't you do this? You can do it right now. You can do it while I'm talking. You can do it this evening. Why don't you write down everything that you want to release? Childhood trauma. Got that, been working on it. You know, physical, mental abuse, got that, been working on it. You know, PTSD from the things that one has to do in combat, got that. You know, got the big old award for that one. You know, all these things that add up in our life that no longer serve us, if we don't acknowledge it and release it, it's going to continue to stay with us. So what I would like for you to do is, you can close your eyes if you like. You don't have to. But I want you to think about, let's just say one thing. And I'll give you for example, for me, and it's something I'm still healing. This young lady that I was seeing, you know, more than a little heartbroken and trying to heal from that relationship. What I do, and what was told to me, is visualize the good things that happen in that relationship. Take time and honor that person. You know, thank you for the lessons that you gave me. You know, she gave me so many beautiful lessons. And when I say that with tongue in cheek, because they're extraordinarily painful, because this person, unfortunately, was the biggest trickster in my life, because I thought I was going into the relationship or this whatever eyes open, and I didn't understand what I was seeing. God put that person there for me to see I haven't healed the biggest thing that needed to be healed, and that's where Wes gives up on himself and where Wes throws himself in the trash. So what I do is honor the lessons that I received, and then ask God, say, you know, Jesus, I've learned this lesson. You know, please take this pain from me. I don't need to learn this lesson anymore. I'm prepared for my next set of lessons, because you're going to get those. You know, one of the things that you learn about when you do this kind of work is something called vibration. Have you ever met somebody that you just see and they've got this big smile on their face and people are attracted to them? And you're like, well, people aren't attracted to me. Or maybe you're the person that everybody's attracted to, and you see somebody that's very, very nice, but it's like, you know, hey, that guy Wes over there is really cool, but I just don't feel called to hang out with him. Our vibrations are on different levels. It's kind of like a radio station. You're on 92.9 and they're on Z104. You can't hear Z104 from 92.9. You might like each other, you may recognize each other, but you're not going to connect. So we are going to connect, and we're going to draw in people, things, and ideas that are a 92.9. However, when you start to release and pay attention to what is challenging you, your vibration goes up a little bit, and it goes up a little bit, and it goes up a little bit. And all of a sudden, maybe that doesn't hurt as much. And maybe the next time that man or woman comes into your life, that's the same person you've dated 15 times before, or it's the same business person you've worked with before, or whatever, you're going to recognize that and say, thanks, but no thanks, and move forward. And those people are going to start to fade away. See, we can't release the things that are no longer serving us unless we identify what it is. I believe we need to recognize it and thank it for the lessons that it's giving us, then allow us to move forward. Does that make sense? So why don't you take the evening, close your door, get a glass of iced tea or whatever, and start writing these things out. Hold it up and ask, I've learned these lessons. Thank you for these blessings. Thank you for the things that you've given me. I no longer need these. And if it's your will, would you take this away? Go outside in the storm and burn it. Then we want to bring in what we want. Don't limit yourself and say, hey, I want to make $50,000 a year. I want to make at least $50,000 a year. I want to attract unconditional love that from somebody who cares for me, that hears me, that makes me feel loved. Write out everything that you want and don't limit it by just putting a cap. You should never have a cap. Write down the things that you want. Hang on a second, I'll show you this. I created a vision board, which I thought was silly until somebody had me create a vision board. Some things I have on here, I've got this actress here. I don't know if you can see that. She represents hope. Because when she got her Academy Award, I remember her saying that she never thought that a woman that looked like her with her weight and the color of her skin could ever get this award. I'll never forget that. And then, there's some personal things here for me that my eyes are wide open, that I love myself. And it isn't ironic that after I did this vision board, I actually started to learn how to like and love myself. That I'm still working on the eating better. It's a process. I have a picture of a family here because I'd like to have a family. I'm divorced and my children are adults and they live in Florida now. I don't have a family here. And so those are things that I want. And I put it in a space where I'm going to see it on a regular basis. So we can start calling in the things that we want, because you can have everything in life that you want. However, you have to be able to say it out loud. Right? Don't sit there and say, I want to make $250,000 a year if you've never made over 45. It's not going to work for you. Maybe the number you can comprehend is 75. Maybe the weight loss, if that's what you're trying to do, because that's what I'm trying to do, is, I can't comprehend maybe 25 pounds, but I can comprehend 5, right? I can comprehend not eating a cheeseburger on the way home from work tonight. I made a different decision and had a salad when I got home. It's little things like that that's going to make a shift for you. So one of the things I've been doing is raising everyone's vibration while we've been here this evening. I started doing healings on everybody before the class started. I will continue to do healings for you afterwards. And so I think we're coming up on the 30 minutes that I was asked to give. I wanted to see if anybody had any questions. Margaret, I see a question in your eye. I can see it.
Those are telltale signs of the eyeballs. Well, I've been sitting here crying like a baby.
Ears are healing.
And in more ways than one, because so many things today, I feel like things cross your path with a meaning and with a purpose. I believe that I have a predestined path, and the path that I'm on is the one I'm supposed to be on. But sometimes it's tough to give up those things that hurt you and those things that cause you to hold yourself back. And sometimes, it's like a tether. How do you break the tether?
There's different things. You can reach out to me personally and we can talk about that. There's some things called cutting cords where you can go in and energetically remove the cords from people. And the other part of it is baby steps is, hey, I've got a doctorate in self-hatred and pain. I understand pain, from being a Marine, Marines, we're not eating lollipops, okay? Being in a combat unit in the Marine Corps is a tough job. You go to a mental place that seems easy to get there, but I tell you what, coming back from it sure is a son of a gun. And I used to say all the time, I don't understand pleasure. I don't understand love. I don't understand happiness. I don't understand joy. Happiness is temporary. Joy is forever, and it wasn't until I started to pay attention to meditation, until I went and got my Reiki certification and started learning how to connect with the sacred Holy Spirit and use my body as a clear and present channel to heal myself, using God's energy to do that. Like Father Munford did with me. I asked him, I said, how did you make the pain in my shoulder go away, Father? And he says, I use God's energy to do it. In my opinion, it's the same thing. Some other folks may think it's different, but I feel it's the same. I'm still praying to the same person. So, making baby steps of saying it's okay for me to be attracted and understand this pain, but it's also okay for me to say, you know what? You no longer serve me. I learned my lesson. I'm not in the Marine Corps anymore. I don't have to have the mindset that I did back then. Mm-hmm. Those days is 25 years ago. Yep. And, the abuse of being abused as a little 8-year-old little boy was, however long ago that was, learning how to maneuver past that to where it might be part of me, but it doesn't define me anymore. Right. One of the things I found is talk therapy is very challenging and doesn't work a whole lot. It didn't work for me. But when I started doing some of this energy work, they were able to remove the energy that was still attached to me of the 8-year-old little boy who was being molested and pulling that away. So the little boy then can grow up and connect with the man, and he and I can walk together and reconnect. And that's one of the things that I do for people is help them heal from that. And it's just very, very interesting how that works. The energy has memories, and memories has energy. And so think about this. If you have a memory and then you have the energy of that memory, you create a trauma. Yep. If you remove the energy, because you're not going to just mysteriously, hey, I don't remember this horrible thing that happened to me 20 years ago. It's just not going to go away. You can't erase it. But if we pull the energy of it away, now it's just a memory. It's no longer a trauma because we're choosing to heal from it and we're letting that go. We give it to God. Thank you, Jesus. I learned a lesson, and, sometimes that lesson is hard to look at. Yep. But like I said, if you want to talk to me privately, I'd be more than happy to talk to you about that. And you get, Dawn's got all my contact information, but, just for the simple fact that you're saying it out loud and you're acknowledging it is a step forward, right? Yep. Oh, I agree. I'm proud of you. That. It's like sometimes, it's just dealing with that. Let's say it's the abandonment issues. Abandonment. Yeah. And it's amazing how that one word
can stop you dead in your tracks.
So what I would encourage you to look at is, and this is a hard one because I understand it, is where are you abandoning yourself? Because because when you heal that part, Margaret, that's when you heal the other part. And when somebody first told me that, it pissed me off. Boy, I was hot. And I'm like, I don't want to hear that. Don't tell me that. When I started looking at it, where I abandoned myself is the words that I would use, the anger that I had, the women that I would date, maybe drugs, maybe alcohol, pulling up to McDonald's and shoving food down my throat. Just we do different things. And when you look at, because we want to look at why are they hurting us and abandoning us, the reality is we need to look at ourselves and say, because the answer isn't here.
Oh, I agree.
And when you focus on where you abandon yourself, it'll be funny how the other shifts.
It'll be interesting. Well, I will get your information from Dawn.
Yes, ma'am. It'll be my pleasure.
Thank you.
Anybody else have any questions? So has anybody ever seen a singing bowl before?
Yay, I love these.
So this is a singing bowl, and being colorblind, I know this is green, so I can see this color. I picked this one out of all my singing bowls because this one is for your heart chakra. And I was gonna play it for you for a second. And what it does, it realigns your heart chakra. You may feel it through vibrating through your body. I've got a 7-bowl set over there. The dogs love it when I play. They'll come over and sit with me. So I was gonna play this before we're done, if that's okay.
Yeah.
And if you have a bowl, you can grab the energy out and put it in your chest, and it feels really, really interesting.
I had a hard time hearing. I can't hear you.
You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. The bowl is absorbing my voice, I believe.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
So just a little baby recap. Write down what you want to release and ask to have it released. Honor that. And really take a moment to honor it. Take a day. I've taken many days to honor some of the things. Even from the trauma when I was a little boy, I honored that person for an entire day. Because what I looked at was, if that person could do that to me, what happened to that person when they were a child? And it helped me move past that. And then ask God, say, I've learned this lesson, please take it from me. And as you do that, you're going to move forward. And if you do that in your sales business and you pay attention to your coach, Dawn, Dawn's got a little bit of stuff going on and she's killing it, right? She is already healed from everything. Her body's just catching up to it. So congratulations on having a good review today. I'm proud of you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I'm looking forward to hanging out with you at the beach soon.
Yes. So this has been Did anything else? I don't want to interrupt.
No, I'm good unless y'all have any questions.
Anybody have anything before Wes says goodbye to us?
I don't have any questions, but I'll say it's really interesting because when you were playing, my dog was laying here with me and she was asleep. And all of a sudden she sat up and her head started going from side to side and she moved a little closer and then she backed up a little. And she just was very in tune and kind of like, wow, it was really funny to watch her reaction. I kind of got distracted by it, but anyway, thank you very much. That was an amazing 30 minutes. I've got a page of notes that I'm going to start going over.
Pleasure. Invite me back anytime.
Both of my cats did the same thing.
Yeah, that's cool.
Both my cats woke up and they intently listened to every sound that you played.
Oh, that's so neat.
Do you ever do any sound baths, like as a group or anything?
I've done some, the funny thing is I have a friend of mine that does this, his healing is more sound-based. And so I went down to the beach and he did an 1.5-hour session last night on the beach. It was absolutely fantastic. If you want, I could probably catch up with Brian and see if he wants to do one for you guys. Now, he does this thing with his voice. It sounds like these Vikings are coming over the wall. It's beautiful. I mean, it is absolutely beautiful. So I could probably put that together for y'all if you want.
Oh my God, that would be amazing.
Is
Yeah.
he the one that used to do it at Good Vibes?
I think so, yes.
Yeah, I had never got to go to one of those.
Yeah, well,
I tried to.
he's on Facebook. Are you in Virginia Beach?
Yeah.
Yeah, every Wednesday at 47th Street from 8 to 9:30, he's doing that. So I'll give you my number if you want to reach out. I'll get you the information at 757-478-5618. And you could also go to VB Healer, VirginiaBeachHealer.com is my website, and you can see some of the other stuff that I do. But Brian is cool. He's a great guy. And he said last night he'll be at the 47th Street. And if you go, let me know. We'll go together. I'll meet you there. And it'd be fun to meet you. And his healing stuff is absolutely phenomenal.
I love the sound bath stuff. It's so cool. So and he does it every Wednesday. I didn't know that.
Does he do it right on the beach or in the garden?
Yeah, right in the sand, right on the sand.
Oh, cool.
Wow.
That's
Yeah.
right near my house. So
Roll them down
Yeah.
there.
So
We
I'm
need to do it.
trying.
That would be so fun, you guys.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think so. I go.
You should do
Hey,
that. Like,
if you feel that I'm doing a road trip, just letting you know.
Yeah, I'm trying
I
to.
go down to the beach for that.
It's worth doing. And he does private ones too. I don't know, they're about $100 for him to do a private one. And that is really, I'm trying to look for his thing here as I'm talking to you. Now, I've done that as well. And, it's even more intense because you're inside and that goes off the walls. So it's really beautiful. So let me see it. Of course, whenever you're looking for something, you can't find it, right?
Yeah.
So here it is. If you look on Facebook, it's Virginia Beach Oceanfront Soundscape Meditation at Buff's Garden. The name of his business is Sound Healing Conservatory. And he said he'll be there next Wednesday from 8 to 9:30 on the sand at 47th Street. So I get there a little early so you can get a parking spot, but I'll be there.
Oh man, I want to do that.
We will meet you.
Yeah. Dawn, bring the kids. They'll love it. It's like, hey, it's kind of like going to Pink Floyd concert,
Oh man, they won't. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, it's a blast.
Awesome.
So, so this has been fun.
This has been wonderful. Thank you so much.
And if you guys do any group things in person, you want me to come, I'd be happy to come and I could do a different session in person. And it'd be fun to do that for y'all.
That would. We're trying to get together once a month in Virginia Beach, at least now that COVID isn't plaguing us.
Well, if you ever need a space, I've got an office space in Kimsville that seats 35 people comfortably. Y'all are welcome to it for free anytime you want.
Awesome. I didn't know that either. Well, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
It's awesome.
So,
Good deal. Well, thank you. Well, you can hang out for a minute. I'm just gonna go real quick over the calendar, and then we are gonna, we always end in prayer. So you're welcome to hang out with us for a few minutes.
hang out for prayer.
Cool. All right, you guys, we are, what is it, the 8th or something? So we've got a 1 week of July under our belts. I'm coming off a really great June. So I hope that everybody kind of has the mindset right now of like really being intentional about reaching out and making those connections, asking people, you know, whether you like to sample, getting those samples out because you want to give yourself plenty of time, you know, throughout the month to be able to follow up and really close that out. Maybe that's watching the video. We've got a ton of events, you guys. So we talk about send, share, invite. You know, send the message, share your story, share a testimony, and then invite them to something, because it's when our people like really hear firsthand, that's when they're like, oh my gosh, this could really do something for me. And that's the biggest thing that we're always trying to show people is what it can do for them, right? So it's not so much about the product, but it's about how we can help them. So just always kind of keep that top of mind. When I talk about events, our team now, every single Tuesday night at 8 o'clock, we're going to be doing what we call like a Facebook pop-up. And so it's going to be a quick 30 minutes, and each Tuesday night, it's going to be a different theme. So this past Tuesday, it was great. Dodie and Margie and Sam did an awesome job, and they focused on hydration and the importance of water and so forth. This coming Tuesday, Kim, but I haven't seen Kim on here. Is Kim on?
She's here.
She is here. All right. Hold on. Let me do my gallery views because I've had an speaker view.
I'm here.
Hey, Kim. So Kim is going to be doing a pop-up specifically about, tell me.
Menopause.
It is menopause. That's right. That's what I thought. So just real quick, Kim, explain the format so everybody understands.
So basically, I started the group today, formulated the group. So you can go ahead and if you need the link, message me, let me know. I'll send you the link and you go ahead and invite your people. There'll be a few posts maybe between now and Tuesday, not much of anything. I will go live in the group probably maybe an hour or two before the event just to kind of wake the group up. And then Dodie and I are going to try to do a dual live. Hopefully, if the group works, that's the plan. If it lets us go live and do the dual live and talk about the symptoms and just how Plexus and the products can help control the symptoms. And then at the end, we will invite you know, people to join us in the health journey. And at the end, also, we will say that get with the person that invited you. Because we have a special, you know, discount, which we're going to use the SAM 2020 code as our discount for an additional 10% off. And that is going to be like our gift to them that night. Will be the 10% off the SAM 2020. So, and then we'll probably drop a few, my plan is to drop a few welcome packs of choice in the comments of the live to kind of give them ideas. Probably touch base on some of the products too. Of course, root healing with the triplex we're going to go over, and then touch base on the products that like X Factor Plus, you know, formulated for hot flashes. And we'll talk about Mega X for heart, brain. So we'll hit on a few things like that. And maybe a meta burn. So that's kind of the basics. It's going to be short, sweet, no longer than 30 minutes.
Great. So this particular group is set up as a separate group. So Kim has her set up as a separate group, really modeling what we learned from Jayla. So I believe the next week is going to be Lisa, and that's going to be through the Live Vibrantly group. So just kind of pay attention, but I think that way we can hit a lot of people through Live Vibrantly. And then and we need to go ahead and get this going. I haven't really done a great job of promoting this yet, So I want this group of how many people? 16 of you guys to get this and then start really running with it. We're going to do an intermittent fasting group again. We did one back in the fall and it was like such a huge success. People absolutely loved it. We had a huge turnout. I think the group had like 500 people in it. It was crazy town. So we're going to do it July 12th for 10 days. We've already got the content. It's great. And kind of the way we did it last time is we had three posts a day that were scheduled. But then what really made it great was everybody else, the interaction and the organicness, I guess, for lack of a better word, of the group. So that comes from all of us, right? That interaction, that finding something a little extra, finding that extra recipe. So, when we do these groups, it's really important, like we come together as a team because that's what makes it successful. And then when our guests see that, that's exciting to them and they want to participate, and you see engagement and you maybe see your people, the person that you invited, commenting, and then you can have a private conversation through Messenger. So it's just a really great way to add value to what we're offering. So it's not just about Plexus products. Like, let's show them how to have a healthy lifestyle, do something like intermittent fasting, which people are just all over. And then of course we weave Plexus into that and show how it supports. So that's going to be happening. Then we have corporate's got a lot of really great events. So you can utilize these events too, you guys. So every single day when you sit down to do your 30 minutes or your hour, or however long you set aside for Plexus, just remember, like, there's always something to invite to, which is key. It really is the key if you can do that. And even if something, yeah.
We're gonna do the book club starting on Monday too, where I'll be putting information.
Yay! Tell us. You talk. Go.
Okay, so I'm stepping way out of my comfort zone,
I'm so
but
proud of you.
I posted it in the pink about Dawn and I had a conversation about it, and so we're gonna start a book club on Hello Fears by Michelle Polar that we heard at convention. And on Monday I'll start with chapter 1 and then Friday chapter 2. And if you look on it on the post in the comments, it has the dates that I will be putting information from each chapter. And then Dawn, on there I listed the 3 dates for the Zoom calls, but I tried to set up a Zoom call and link it in and it wouldn't let me. So I guess you and I need to fix that so that you can set the Zooms. Yeah. Okay. So it's going to go 5 weeks and end August 20th because we've got so much going on. So, but I'm really, in the last 11 days, have learned a lot. And so I think it would be beneficial to share.
It's a great book. I downloaded it on Audible as soon as I heard her because she was my favorite keynote. I don't know about you guys, but I just loved her. And I have been loving it. It's really good. So highly recommend it. It's very inspiring. She's super down to earth, super awesome. So I'm so proud of you, Miss Crystal. So excited about book club. So everybody, and in the book club, we've done these before. It's not like you have to read the entire book. I mean, you can always just come hang out and learn and listen and have a good discussion, even if you're not, reading the book diligently. Okay, so we're almost finished with the calendar and then we're going to close in prayer and we'll close right at 9. So corporate Mondays, you guys know, we're Motivation Mondays, 7:00, and you can always register. And as long as you register, you get the recording. So I highly recommend doing that every opportunity, every Monday. They're always excellent trainings. You're not going to get any better training than you're getting from the Diamond trainers that they get for Motivation Monday. They're really good. So then we have our stuff on Tuesday. Wednesday is the new ambassador welcome call. Now, if you're not utilizing that, I'm going to really encourage you to do that. That's excellent. So as soon as somebody joins, you sign them up, you let them know, okay, on Wednesday, they sign up on Monday. Hey, hop on the call on Wednesday. It's a great welcome call. It's going to give you product tips, information, background of the company, because people are the most excited about starting when they first sign up, right? When they're like anticipating it. So that's really the time to hit them up and get them on that welcome call. And it helps kind of create the vision because they do a good job of creating the vision of like, well, hey, want to get your products paid for? This is how you do it. Hey, want to make $500 a month? This is how you do it. So, corporate, they're using that verbiage that really works. That's Wednesdays, every Wednesday at 7. And then they are knocking it out of the ballpark, you guys, with opportunity calls, which actually one starts at 9 o'clock. But this one is happy on that call. You do. So if you need to go, it's fine. If you need to like hop off and get on that call. But they're like every day, all day. Have you guys seen the schedule?
It's every day
I don't say all
at
day.
9 and 12, but it's actually for us, it's 12 and 9
Yeah.
for us. And they actually have a really good, Danya mentioned that you wanted me to tell them what we should say to them as
Yeah,
the
say,
opportunity,
ask
the
you.
opportunity verbiage. And if you guys want me to send this to you, I have it typed up and all you have to do is copy and paste it into a message. But you're supposed to, it works really well. I've had 3 people actually go to the opportunity call, and I've invited 15 people tonight. So I'm anxious to see who shows up there. But it's like, hey, so-and-so, I know we have not connected about Plexus before, but something exciting is happening that could benefit you and your family. I wondered if you are open to connecting and seeing how Plexus might be something to take a look at. You send that out to them. That's inviting them to take a look at it. If they answer you positively, you wait for the answer. You don't go back and answer them. You ask them to come to the opportunity call. Tell them that you will be a professional and follow up with them 10 minutes beforehand to remind them to come to the opportunity call and go to the call with them. Send them the link, which the link is the same. It's bit.ly/yplexus.now. That's the link. It's every single time, twice a day, Monday through Thursday. They don't do it on Friday, they said, because Friday is just a mess up day and they've got so much going on getting caught up for the rest of the week. So they try to do them. I saw that there was one at 9 o'clock tonight on Friday night, which was weird because she said they didn't do them. But it's been working really well. But as soon as that call is over, you connect back with them and you ask them, what did you think? What did you think? 4 words, that's it. What did you think? And because they're going to ask everybody in the call to get back with you and say, let's get my journey started. And if they don't, you ask them like, did you get on the call? You know, that call I told you about, the one I remind you to go to. If not, tell me what, if you did, what did you think? If you didn't, here's the link, go next time. It's on, just remind them. Because I have somebody who contacted me out of the blue and I asked, how did you find me? She goes, I was just surfing the internet and I saw something you posted. So I thought I would reach out. Here I am. So I'm connected with somebody just with that, but she's had a family emergency, couldn't get there. It's like, I'll just remind you twice a day. You get on when you can. She says, thank you. That would be awesome. And that's what we've been doing for 2 days now. So it's a great way to connect with them. It's a great way to get in contact with them. And it is an awesome 15-minute call, guys. That's all it is. It's 15 minutes. So if they want to know how long it is, it's 15 minutes.
Yeah. So anybody you're talking to, it's like, hey, just hop on. You want more information? There you go. 12 and 9. So if you need to go, I understand, because we're going to close out in prayer. And I just want to say hi to Emmy, who we haven't seen in a while. So I'm super happy that you're here, Miss Emmy. And Debbie Jardin, hello. And everybody else, I just want to say hi, but I just haven't seen
Hey,
them.
Dawn, we have Virtual Express on Saturday too.
Oh, girl, thank you. That's at 11? Did I get
I
the
think
time
so,
right?
yeah. I think so, yes.
So I need to put that on the team page. Yes, I forgot to write that down. Virtual Express. That
Hey,
happened. What else did
And
I forget?
I just love your hair. I really do. It looks so soft.
It's so Sinead O'Connor. I don't know how long it'll be here because I have started a new chemo. They told me I'm going to lose my hair again. I'm like, whatever.
That's okay. Just chance to grow back
breathing.
again.
Literally, you guys, I'm breathing today. That is something to rejoice in, because let me tell you what, when you cannot breathe, life really sucks.
Big time. Big time.
So I saw my doctor today and I'm just like all happy. She's like, oh my gosh, like what? Because anyway, she knows all the crap I've been through. And I'm like, well, golly, when you can't breathe and then you can, I mean, like, what else matters?
Breathing trumps hair any day.
So whatever. But it is, it really, like, yesterday I woke up and I was like, oh, my chest is not tight and I'm not wheezing and coughing and feeling like I'm yeah. So anyway, so yesterday was a good day and today was a good day. So all of you guys that are my prayer warriors out there, thank you very much. Appreciate it. I know I have them. All right. Did I miss anything else? Anybody else have anything to say before we hallelujah together? Miss anything? No. All right, cool. Well, I tell you, I know that there's lots of prayers requests on our team. You know, I love that I have good, really personal relationships with many of you. So if you want to share, so we can all publicly pray, but if not, just keep them in your heart. That's fine too. So if you want to put anything in the comments, and I'll close us out. I'll wait a hot minute.
I just have an unspoken about the situation. That's all I need to say.
I know. Okay, I got you. I got you covered. Covered. All right. Well, let's go ahead and
Hey,
do that.
Dawn,
Yes, ma'am.
this is not a prayer request. I'm sorry, this is not a prayer request, but this is a reminder that we will be doing an event centered around people with special needs and the things that we can do here with Plexus to help them with some of their issues.
Cool.
That is something that we plan on doing this month.
Awesome. We don't have, just let us know when the date.
Great.
That's so cool. I love it. I love that we're being really specific. You know, like it helps to know, okay, menopause, well, that's kind of narrows the demographic, and then special needs, it kind of helps us to get our brains thinking about people in our lives that could benefit. That's so good. Okay. So, dear Lord, we just come before you. Just first of all, just in great gratitude. You know how much I love everybody that's here and on this team, and what we've accomplished together, and where we're going, and just the wonderful, loving community that we have here. Thank you, Lord, so much. Thank you for the wisdom that Wes brought tonight. Thank you so much for the sharing and the releasing and the kind of the opening of the mind and the heart to maybe some new ways of thinking, and maybe some things were kind of unraveled. And so we just know that honors you, God, because you just want us to live and step into our fullness. There's no question, because you are our creator. And all of the traumas and all of the things in our lives, and that the hurt and the pain is not something that you wanted for us, but it's just part of the human experience. And so as we move through that experience, Lord, we just kind of look to you to say, yes, make me whole. Yes, make me whole, and help, release those things that need to be released within us, and help us look inward. So I just all of the prayer requests are here for our children. First, we pray for all of our children, for love and light and peace, and for a dark world not to infiltrate them in such a way that they can't come back from it, God, that there will be great protection, and the angels will protect our children, for situations, for relationships, for marriages, for sicknesses, and Hannah's cousin, and with the brain tumor. And there's just so much in this human experience. Sometimes it can be overwhelming. Thank God we have you, God, to give it all away to. So in the spirit of tonight, I just close this out and say, thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Amen.
Amen.
You didn't share that, Wes, because I use that all the time.
What you shared is the Ho'oponopono prayer. It's a sacred prayer from Hawaii. And it's fairly simple. It's I love you, I'm sorry, thank you, please forgive me. You're thanking yourself, you're telling yourself you're sorry. You're basically giving yourself a break. So if you were looking at that childhood trauma, or contract negotiations, or something with your significant other or yourself, feel that, you'll feel the energy of that, and you say that to yourself 10 or 15 times. Thank you, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me. And what happens is, when you heal yourself, you heal that person. When you heal that, if you heal yourself over an argument with your husband or your wife, that you heal your children, and it goes on and it goes on. And it's interesting how something so simple can shift something so fast. It's quite beautiful. Guy named Joe Vitelli, wrote a book about Ho'oponopono, and they talk about how this guy basically healed everybody in this mental hospital without seeing one patient. He went through their records and you know, when he was reading about the things that these people did. Obviously, this doctor is not a murderer, but there was something connected with that. It's a little deep. It's a little hard for me to comprehend, but basically he says that there was something in him that needed to be healed. And when he healed himself, he actually healed that other person. That in that facility, the grass wouldn't even grow. And now they have this beautiful grass. And so as that energy shifted and that darkness was taken away, they actually, I believe they ended up closing that facility because they had no patients to be in it. It's interesting.
That is. Anyway, I love the prayer. I use it. I have it. I've used it for my kids. Like sometimes when they decide to argue and it gets to the point where we have to have like a sit down and work it out, we've used the prayer and it does shift. It shifts everything. So it's good stuff. All right, you guys, thank you so much. Great to see you all. Thank you guys for hanging out tonight. Yeah. Bye. See ya.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.